I've done it. I have taken the plunge. I have just finished yesterday at my full-time job after a 3-month notice period. Now, I'm not going to call myself unemployed. I'm going to call myself an entrepreneur. I have a business idea and I have a plan. I've even started a few things. But really, what I've done so far is wasted a little bit of cash down the drain unnecessarily. I've made mistakes from the second I registered my business name up until probably even today. This is going to be my journal of how many mistakes I make along the way, some of the learnings I have, and some of the advice I get given from my network who's willing to help me. I'm going to hold myself accountable. Hopefully I can use this as a learning tool to force myself to go harder, to go faster, to learn more, and to reflect on some of the things that could be improved. So what am I going to talk about? What do I like talking about? I like talking about leadership. I like talking about management, leadership versus management. I like to talk about learnings from my background in growth marketing and my studies. Learnings from my friends, chats with my network. And I also like to talk about how badly I just messed up. You can't take yourself too seriously. If this fails, if my business idea fails, well, I'll just get another job. I'm very lucky and fortunate that I have a network who can support me. And I'm very lucky that in my line of work, there is always demand. Also probably going to talk about some of the wins, if and when they occur. Now, I'm doing this because speaking on camera virtually is not one of my strong suits. I prefer to talk to people face to face. I probably prefer to send them an email. But I know speaking to people virtually, speaking online, talking to people is the way that businesses grow. I'm also happy to ask for help. So, why did I actually start a business? What makes me think I'm suited to maybe running a business? Chances are I'm probably not. But I do like coming up with ideas. Whether it's for an ice vending machine or a fridge vending machine at Bondi Beach in the summer, or a style of finishing school for some of the kids you read about in the paper who maybe didn't learn many leadership skills and are not the best fit for businesses or society. Those ideas are hard. How do you do that? That's tutoring. What skills do I have to tutor someone to be not an annoying person? I was probably that annoying person at some stage. Now, there have been times where I've taken that a step further. I found an opportunity when I was looking into Master of Business Administration courses that not really any site existed in our local market that compared MBAs. I wanted to be able to read reviews from students, from ex-students about the MBA, rather than hear testimonials that I know as a marketer are curated and only ever going to be in a good light. Now, that was an opportunity at my business that I was working for as well. We were paying $50 for a lead. I thought if I can build a website, get a bit of SEO behind it, and do some business development, I would be making heaps of money. Didn't know how to build a website. Didn't know how to do SEO. It's one of the few ones I didn't know at the time. And I didn't know how to do sales. Learned how to build a website. Pretty ugly one, but it was fine. Learnt SEO. Was able to outrank some of the universities here. Not a good thing to do. Didn't do business development. I didn't want to call someone. I didn't want to bother them. I didn't want to get rejected. I didn't want to get told no. So I let the site sit. My registration expired and it's been a fairly long time since then. I did learn a lot from that experience, and I learned that sales is so important. Without sales, your business isn't going to go anywhere. Without sales, you don't have a business. Or you don't have a business for long at least. So when I noticed at the job I just finished that there was an opportunity to improve processes, Some people were spending 2 to 4 hours doing this single task, and they were doing it hundreds of times a year. I attempted to take over that department, to bring it back into the folds of marketing where it was performing at its peak. There was no head of department at the time. There was a manager, yes, but I wanted that manager to work with me and report to me. I knew that it would solve other problems, not just generate more money for the business or help more businesses, but it would also help my team, my existing team. It would solve some of the challenges we had and improve business as a whole. Now, when that didn't work, I used that team as a research tool. How do you go about doing this? What are the tools you use? Where do you go to find information? How long does it actually take, and why does it take so long? 2 to 4 hours is a lot of time. 200 to 400 hours is a huge amount of resources that could be allocated to other parts of that function. Now, where it really was validated was in a leadership meeting where the chief operating officer, the chief executive officer, and the chief financial officer all validated the idea. They all said, go find a business that can do that for you. I am the blah. I can do that. That was my business idea, and it was validated with no prompting from me. So I went another step. I talked to the procurement officer. I said, if this were to exist, would that team use it? That would cut down invoices from 2 invoices per event, 300 invoices, down to maybe 12, 1 a month, if they were a key account. Now I know logically that in the infancy of my business, they are not a client for me. I'm not a fit for them. One day I might be, but I also know it's not the right fit currently. I can't support the level that they need, and I don't think they're a right fit for me at this stage either. So I had a problem, I had a solution, and now I had validation. Very important. So I was spending hours after work, into the night, on weekends, making sure that this idea had merit. I was doing financial plans for 5 years into the future because that's what my MBA taught me to do. Did I need to do that? No, waste of time. 5 years into the future could mean anything. I needed to do 12-month plans, 6 months plan, 3-month plans. I needed to know how to get the idea into fruition in the cheapest way possible. A proof of concept that didn't mean I was going to spend $1,000 on a random AI tool because I thought it'd be fun. Now, with that MBA came a great network. You know, the Australian Graduate School of Management meant that I had a network of people who were willing to help and are willing to ask for help in sharing. We all work for and with each other to make sure that all of our successes are going to come true, and everyone is willing to help. I have friends who I've worked with. I've got friends who I haven't worked with who are friends, who are willing to help me. Everyone has a bit of advice, and everyone's going to give that knowledge and share that knowledge. I also know I need to jump into this full time. So yes, I could go part-time role. I probably will. I'll run out of money soon. But if I don't do this and put all my efforts into this, I know that it's going to be a side gig, a hobby on the side, a dream in my mind of what could be. Now, with my plan, what that plan is, and what the business idea is, we'll probably wait for another video, because I don't often talk this much and not to a camera. Cheers.